Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Oh Allah. Anyways, I just want to throw light on on a particular video where I see where I find so emotional because not just the truth na I see inside it. Now a video done by one of us sis when Dr. Haja Khadija Ibrahim on the issue of abuses faced by women, especially. People are really struggle, especially emotionally. Emotional abuse is something where you can see the person physically, it look okay, but then again you go see it a smile, everything can look perfect for them from outside, and in the inside, then people and they can actually rot in, then can don't damage inside, but they hardly make a known to you. Now I make them can say behind every smile there is indeed a story behind them. So the thing about this issue of going through abuses, now one part of them, the response, the attitude of people out there towards victims of abuse, now in they make somebody in situation can become more worst past what they go through. People away can they go through abuse can find it so much difficult for talk because of then the after effect of what they can face after that. But you out there, you can be one person where you get that convincing, that tempting means the more you can use for convince the person, for make sure say the person talk. We normally can tell people and say you have to speak up, you have to let people know what you're going through. On the other hand, or in most cases, we encourage people and for speak up, for speak their mind, something when they find so much difficulty in. And when they do what they do, immediately you they assume the throne of justice. You find yourself, catch yourself in a chair and now begin take and say you there in the position for judge the life of that particular person there. For instance, when things like this can happen, instead of we try for help, if you know say you're not able to help somebody, not ask them for tell you a problem. It's sad that when people when a victim don't finally tell you what they go through, people manipulate the words them and use them against them. People go they dig your life just for see how pathetic your life be, or then go they monitor every moves where you they make, not for anything, not for see how best they can help you. Then they do that just for fun ways for Congo you, for fun ways for see how you go down, for laugh at you. Just it's like people and they find pleasure in the pains where other people and they go through. I just wish that this video will help each and every one of you out there for make you change your perception about what people and they go through. Learn for understand person in situation and try for help them rather than just looking at say if I let complain about this person just because you feel say this person here you get high thinking of him, or you get high respect for that particular person they then say not capable for do me what I say it do me. Or secondly, when I don't talk just because you feel say me na woman, you just take and say I don't get any right for make I get me on justice what I deserve. That is why in most cases women and they suffer a lot. Women and they suffer a lot, and let me change that ideology there. Let me try for no say women need protection, especially women the way they practice Islam. Women the way they try for go all out for ensure say they live a decent life. Let me let for judge people them. Rather let we understand people them more rather than for being more judgmental. Let me listen to what we doctor say the bit by bit explanation where it give Then from there, I hope say inshallah, we all go able to understand plenty things.
Many people around the world find it very difficult to believe the experiences of victims of abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, narcissistic, or sexual abuse. This re-victimization of survivors of abuse is very rampant amongst Africans, and it can have devastating effects on the victim. Here is an excerpt from an article I read online. Reference will be on the last slide. When abuse occurs, whether emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, people, sometimes family members and loved ones, may side with those who abuse instead of the survivor. There may be a reason for this. When this happens, when you are not believed, you may be shocked or feel disappointed. Not only have you gone through a traumatic experience, but now you are navigating another layer of trauma when your loved ones don't believe your experience. Why does this happen, you may wonder? Perhaps the most common reason boils down to this: people don't want it to be true. People who abuse are not just shadowy figures in dark alleys. They are eating in our family, neighbors, colleagues, and friends. It's unfathomable to many of us that our loved one could commit such an egregious act. However, many do. Sometimes the person who abuses may come across as a model citizen, successful personality, a doting parent, or religious figure, which adds to the confusion. Other reasons for disbelief may include: 1. The reputation of the family is at stake. 2. Talking about abuse in many communities and culture is considered a taboo. 3. The person who hurt you may be the head of the household. 4. The truth could threaten resources or finances. 5. Fear of stirring the pot or breaking up the family unit. 6. Other survivors in the family are not ready to speak. And lastly, religious expectations. So, whatever your reason is for doubting the experience of a victim of abuse, I want you to understand the implication this may have on their mental health. So, it is a responsibility as a family member and a loved one to believe the people that come to you as victims first, until you can prove them to be not trustworthy. Until then, listen, evaluate, look at the evidence, and make an informed decision. But most importantly, be kind, be supportive, and provide a non-judgmental environment for victims. You may very well be saving a life. Not everyone is strong to survive re-victimization. I thank you very much.
Listening to all of this, wallahi, I'm not able to hold myself back. I'll go into tears because not the real deal. This is what exactly they happen in the lives of most women. Having to go through being a victim is something very, very, very tough. Something very hard to deal with. Something you can't even accept, let alone say to be able to live with it. May Allah guide and direct. May Allah strengthen each and every one of we. Let Allah make everybody suffer what they go through. What kind of abuse suffer? Be it emotional, spiritual, social, financial, physical, whatever abuse where you they go through, we they ask Allah that Allah will give you tranquility and Allah will make things easy for you. We they also ask Allah that He will give patience and endurance, and at the end of the day, He will give you each and every one of we the reward we deserve. With this, I will say Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. I love you all for the sake of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.